I will be gentle with myself, and I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself, and I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart, and I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart, and I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself, and I love myself like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself, and I love myself like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. Now I know I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself, and I hold myself like a newborn baby child. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself, and I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I rock myself like a newborn baby child. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. go, I release, and I know I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. To push, no need to try, no need to worry or question why. Surrender, let go, release, and know.
Everyone wishes to live their best life. We experiment with various ways to achieve that, whether it is through study, competing, finding a partner, working hard, or admiring someone who inspires you. It is the quality of our inner being that does it all, or grapples with fulfilling life's calling. For the past 20 years, the Brahma Kumaris in Washington, D.C. has been a space for any and everyone to enter into and experience one's soul calling. From 1997, the center opened in an old rickety house on Georgia Avenue in Silver Spring, Maryland, where cars and trucks that passed by would shake the space. But when you were inside, it was a peaceful and powerful sanctuary for all who visited. Since then, over 2,500 events, 17 city and nationwide initiatives, 21 awards, 2 meditation museums have served youths, senior citizens, entrepreneurs, scientists, authors, women, interfaith, the disabled, environment, small businesses, arts seekers, and even leaders. Millions of lives have been served, either through social media, the popular America Meditating radio show, or through exhibitions, lectures, partnerships, and programs held in the meditation museums and centers. We look at 20 years of service as a continued journey of love, courage, wisdom, and determination with friends from diverse backgrounds and thought who believe a better world is possible when we make ourselves better human beings. Meditation is an important tool that helps us to gain greater clarity, insights, and inner power so we can make healthy choices and amplify our capacity to live a full life. In times of great anxiety, insecurity, and fear, meditation is an essential practice for everyone to gain stability and inner strength. Just look at what a few dedicated, purposeful, and kind group of committed people have been able to achieve in 20 years. Thanks to everyone who have supported us along the way. And thanks in advance to those who believe in our work and power of intent. Brahma Kumaris Meditation Museums, where peace is inside. Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome to the next normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. For the past few days, we've been going over the Raj Yoga meditation course, which we call the Foundation Course in Meditation. And I hope that everyone has been taking a lot of benefit. I know in all the previous sessions and programs that we do, I'm basically offering you some insights of practical living. However, the Raj Yoga meditation course is where the deep work actually begins. So those of you who've been with us from the beginning of the program, congratulations as we enter into the fourth lesson of the Raj Yoga course. If for whatever reason you seem to have missed any of the sessions, it's my invitation to you that you go and really just revisit them and study them all over again. On our fifth day, after that, we will have a private Zoom session for those who participated in all the 5 sessions. As a result of that, it will invite you into an advanced program that happens every day in the morning at 6:30 at any one of our centers around the world. But it will also give you a deeper insight into the power to transform your own nature, your own sanskaras, your own personality, just things that are inside of you that you still feel are just not true. This is a journey about illusion and truth. Algae, which are the 5 vices, have taken over our interpretation, our vision, our feelings. And Raj Yoga meditation is actually a tool to remove that algae so we can make decisions that support our truth. So let's go back a little bit as to what we've been exploring for the last few days. The first session was on Who Am I? Do you remember that one? Feel free to put your comments in the comment field about what you might have remembered or recalled, and I'd be happy to join along with you. And if Santos can just put up the image of the soul and the soul world, I would really appreciate that. So in our first lesson about Who Am I, we explored the concept that we are souls, the living eternal energy. The soul is immortal, eternal, imperishable. It resides behind our eye. And as a result of that, that energy of the soul is controlling everything. It's controlling the way I feel, it's controlling the people I attract in my life, the events and circumstances that come in and out of my life. It's all happening from the soul. And it's fascinating because the soul never dies, yet so many of us are afraid of death. The reason why we're afraid of death is because of attachment. Imagine, what if everything is preordained to happen, and the only reason why I'm suffering is because I'm attached to the events. Events that I have no control over in being or doing them the way I want them to be, because at a deep vibrational level, the soul is creating everything in my life. We looked at the whole idea that the soul has a mind, intellect, and sanskars. Remember that, everyone. Your mind houses all of your thoughts. Your intellect is your conscious choice to determine what thoughts you want to feed the mind or what experience you'd like to attain. The sanskars is the sum total of every emotion experience that you felt. Imagine, there is the true you sitting in your personality, in your sanskaras, in your resolves, in your subconscious. Your true personality has the vibration of love, peace, purity, truth, and joy. And actually in life, what we're always trying to achieve is the ability to intentionally come from that place 100%. But what happens, sometimes we come from that place 20%, 30%, maybe even 70%. And what's tagging along is algae, the illusion that I'm struggling with, that I don't want to lie to you. I don't wish to deceive you. I don't want to manipulate you. I don't want my ego to be in the equation of this marriage or this friendship or this relationship. So when you look at how the world is functioning right now, there's such an illusion going on. So we've been feeding into the illusion so much because the illusion is so much driven by the alter ego. So in that first lesson, just the whole notion, consider yourself a soul. What is the original nature of the soul? Love, peace, purity, and joy. We want to be able to have the experience of Om Shanti. I'm a peaceful soul. And hopefully by now you're also experiencing that since you've been doing the Raj Yoga lessons with me. Let's move on to the second lesson on God, the supreme energy, the one that removes the algae when I'm in a deep connection and a deep link with the Supreme Being. So we did some meditations and we talked about the fact that the Supreme Being has love, peace, purity, truth, and joy, just like our souls. The difference is that the energy of the divine is unlimited. The love that is, being shared from the divine is equivalent to an ocean of love. And you look at how you've been functioning in your human relationships. Is your love like an ocean? Or are there conditions? Are there limits? Is your love mixed with attachment that you're not able to accept people the way they are, much less to even accept yourself? So when we recognize the fact that sometimes my life is just not all in place, something doesn't always feel right, then we turn to people, we turn to drugs, we turn to alcohol, we turn to food, we turn to television, we turn to a variety of options that gives us temporary escape from what we're feeling, but the only place we need to turn to is inwards and upwards. So I'll show you an image that can best help to kind of facilitate the whole journey of meditation. So in meditation, I'd shown you the three worlds, right? In one sense, here we are down below in the world of karma, and there are a lot of different moving pieces going on. Down below in the earth realm, so to speak, on the human world stage, the drama, there is my name, my gender, my role, my title, my religion. They're all this I, me, and mine. What fascinated me as a little girl is how the planet Earth just floats in the universe. And yet I've become so attached to the world of matter. Why can't I be detached like the planet Earth? Why can't I be detached like the moon and the stars? Consciousness. So sometimes when we find ourselves struggling with a thought, you must have been down once in your lifetime, the rabbit hole of a waste thought. You may be questioning or suspicious of your spouse and their fidelity. You might be questioning your ability to endure a particular project or assignment. You might be questioning if your job will last much longer. You might be in doubt, wondering, will I have enough money to pay my bills? That's going down a rabbit hole of thought which is connected to the illusion or the vice of attachment. We've been surviving life for thousands of years. Yes, the condition in which I survive is what's important. Remember back in the days when we used to fly a lot? And when you would get on a plane, economy class is great, there's no problem. But if you've ever flown in first class for business, it's a completely different cup of tea. The way you're treated, the food you get, just the comfort of the seats. But the irony about that equation is all passengers arrive at the same time on the same aircraft at the same gate. It's just that one comes off feeling relaxed and smooth and taken care of, and the other one deals with it being a little bit tighter. Raj Yoga meditation is to help you to get used to living a life that's first class and business class, which means your state of your consciousness is first class. Why? Because you're connected to the pilot, you're connected to the CEO, you're connected to the Supreme, the ocean of love. So in that diagram that you're looking at, imagine for a little bit, right? Here where you're sitting in your homes, wherever you are, with your friends or companions, or maybe by yourself. Your eyes are looking through the screen, and you're looking at the planet Earth. You see the galaxy, then you see a white film, and then the golden region of light. Many folks in the past have had and have documented an experience called NDE, near-death experiences. They've told you that whenever they died on their surgery or in an accident, they felt the soul detaching from the body. They could literally look at their body below, but then they entered into a portal where there was just this beautiful white light. And they said that in that realm of that light, there is this deep, deep love. And that love embraced them. And when they woke up in consciousness, they were never the same people. They felt like better human beings. In the teachings of Raj Yoga meditation, through the practice of considering yourself to be a soul, being aware that I really am this soul, this immortal, eternal, pure, peaceful, loving energy, and that God is the ocean of love, the ocean of peace, the ocean of purity, that energy awakens a memory that this is who I am and this is what I'm supposed to be when I'm living my life and playing my part down below on the planet Earth. So when you meditate, you detach yourself from your labels and your human conditioning. And you start to recall God as the ocean of love and peace and purity. And you bring that remembrance and that experience back to your being, your inner being. So we covered that concept. And the third one that we had covered was the whole philosophy of karma, which I know everybody loves. And I know that with the philosophy of karma, everybody has a different way of looking at that, because sometimes karma is just a bummer. But yet, we all belong together, and we're all in this together. And the quicker we figure that out, the quicker we'll be responsible for the way that we think, for the way that we speak, and for the choices that we make. Did you know that everything you think, say, and do ripples out in the atmosphere and in the environment and towards humanity? Whatever you're doing as one individual, it will impact the entire world. That's how powerful you are. And I'm not quite sure if you've ever given that serious consideration to recognize your role of responsibility on the planet and why being the best that you can possibly be, living a life of grace and dignity and honor and valor and respect, how important that is in order to create the well-being of our humanity. The kind of humanity that we always idealistically envision. You know, well, they shouldn't speak like this to that person, but yet you don't speak well to your husband. That kind of an energy can't happen anymore in the next normal. In the next normal, we have to be completely truthful. It's not always easy to be truthful with yourself, but when you are truthful, observe how you make a massive breakthrough. How you never ever feel the same when you step up to being truthful. I think about how globally the whole world seems to be under this cloud of deception. Everyone's lying to one another. Whether you're a leader or just somebody on the streets, somebody's lying to this one's lying about that. Everyone lies so much that you don't even have the discerning powers anymore to distinguish, is that true or not? In Raj Yoga meditation, you quickly know what is true or not. Anything that attacks your peace, purity, and love, it's a lie. When you can live with purity, peace, and love, that is your truth. Despite whatever is happening outside of you, if you lose your peace, your purity, your truth, your love, you've been influenced by a lie. Big, huh? It's huge. So we've been really traveling down this incredible road together, and I'm hoping that you've been enjoying it. So feel free to give me your thumbs up and heartfelt good wishes. I'm so glad too that we actually came up with this idea of offering the Raj Yoga course, isn't it, Santosh? Because I have not offered the Raj Yoga course in years. And it's been even refreshing for me to just revisit the foundation of my spiritual awakening and the foundation of the integrity that I've lived my life with for such a long time. So it's been quite interesting, quite lovely. So everyone's okay? All right, so now you're ready to go on to your 4th lesson of Raj Yoga? Okay. As you all know, we covered karma the one before, and karma was all about the law of cause and effect. What goes around comes around. But have you ever thought about your life in the form of a cycle or infinite, sort of like an 8? It just loops around. There's no beginning, there's no end, so to speak. But in a way, there is a beginning and there is an end. Let's say you meet somebody new, right? At least you think it's a new encounter. If it's a soulmate, it is a soul of a previous incarnation. But let's say you meet someone new. You go, oh yeah, I met them on October 10, 2020. Just giving you a number out of the bat. And you get married, you have 4 kids, and 10 years later, your divorce comes, and it's October 2040. You think there's a beginning and an end. Yeah, but yet it's in eternity. And 2 or 3 years later, you meet somebody else. You begin a new relationship. It comes to an end. But it's in eternity. It starts off good, and it changes. It goes from something golden aged to something iron aged. It starts off with you bringing the best of who you are at the beginning, and then it turns out that you feel you just don't have it anymore. You just don't have it to give anymore. So if we can recognize the fact that we're in a cycle, and that everything that is happening is accurate, and each and every one of us are souls playing out our part, would you be as disturbed? Would you take everything so personally? Would you keep blaming people for the way your life has turned out? Would you keep blaming your parents for not being good parents? What if it was accurate for you to attract the parent that you have in your life? What if it's accurate for America to go through what it's going through right now, and that there is nothing that we can do? It's just what it is. What if when the earthquakes come, it's just basically moving the planet around so that it can just re-juxtapose? As much as we hate hearing about bushfires and fires all around, in 2020, the year started off with bushfires in Australia, killing millions of animals in the wild. But yet, it's also a form of replenishing of the planet. When hurricanes and storms and natural disasters roll in some way, in this very mysterious way, things start to get rebuilt. When I get a cut on my finger, the less I bother it, the quicker it heals. A woman has a baby, it's natural, it's nature. The baby's born and the woman's body heals and the child grows into an adult. It's like natural, it's the form of nature, it's cyclical, and it's only, and I'm telling you this from my own experience, everyone, it's only because of my attachment why I feel sorrow. Today I was looking at a little bit of the news in Hyderabad. There were massive rainstorms in Hyderabad, India. And I have a very deep connection to Hyderabad. And I don't know why, I just felt such sadness for the people. And I felt like that was me. And as I watched that and I saw the incredible devastation, I went, look at what my attachment is doing. Because I have a connection to this land, I think it's my land, it's my people. And now I'm feeling a sadness because of their loss and the tragedy. Now, it has to happen, and it did happen. So there was nothing that me or you could do to change that. So what do I do and what do we do? When circumstances and situations are entirely beyond our control, in Raj Yoga meditation, we get to understand it's drama. It was recorded to happen. Each soul is playing their part. What's mine? The quicker I can connect to Baba, the quicker I can assist in the putting everything back in order. That's what's really important. I'm going to put up the image right now on the screen of the cycle of time, or the infinity of life, the celestial journey of the soul. And I'd like you to join me where it says, you are here at the confluence age. Can you spot that for me in this diagram? Okay. Once you've gotten there, I'd like you to imagine that this is now where we are. I want you to imagine that the Iron Age, which is a dark age, is what America and the world seems to be in. And the age coming after this particular period will be called a Golden Age. But in between it actually manifesting, the Golden Age manifesting, we're now put in the middle of a huge transformation that's going to occur at a soul level, at a conscious level, not just physical. You might be seeing the dismantling of governments, the dismantling of health, the dismantling of the economy. That's all physical. What's actually getting dismantled is anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego that has become so high in its percentage in our consciousness that it actually is coming to an end. And imagine if everyone in the world has that energy that they're making their decisions from. Of course, that vibration, and I want you all to hear this very, very clearly, the vibration of the intent that you made your decision with carries that energy. So let's say I made a decision to fall in love with somebody who I think is just gorgeous. I'm just giving you a very gross example. And the only reason why I'm in love with this person is because they're good looking, but their character is the worst. A year or two later, I'm struggling, married to this person, unhappy, unrealized, completely feeling away from myself. And I can't remember the fact that I had made this decision from algae instead of from the original nature. So what I get in return of that relationship or marriage is the result of the intention. So what we're seeing in the world right now is that we're all settling an account of our past choices. But when we're at the confluence age, which is the age in between dark and light, that's the age we start to focus and reflect more inwardly and deepen the connection to God, the Supreme Source, the Supreme Soul. What I've loved about the Brahma Kumaris, and in history too, there's always an incarnation, an avatar, a personality that comes on the scene and makes a drastic change historically. We're looking at a drastic change in the United States because of one human being representing a massive number of people. We've seen a drastic change of people like the Mother Teresa's, the Nelson Mandela, the Mahatma Gandhis, the Martin Luther Kings, the Frederick Douglasses, the Rosa Parks. The list is endless. The Jesus Christ, the Abrahams, the Buddhas. There's always one individual that comes on the scene and their part emerges a great amount of integrity or strength, or their part emerges a narrative that shakes up humanity. It could be for evil, but it could be also for good. Let's focus more on the ones that focus on the good for now. I think we've got enough drama going on in our lives. So in the 30s, in the 1930s, Brahma Baba, who founded the Brahma Kumaris, became that instrument. And I'd like you to imagine, I don't even know if now your family or friends have noticed a very big change in you, even when you speak to them over the phone, or if they come to visit you, if you go to visit them, that maybe they've recognized there's a little more calm over you. Something has shifted for you since you've been participating in Spiritual Vaccine Hour or the Next Normal. So in the same way with Brahma Baba, he had a wake-up call. He had a very deep download from the divine, from Baba. And the people in his community could see something in this man had changed. But I think the profound shift was when women started to rise up and become images of truth and integrity and strength. And back in those days, guys, in the 30s, before India and Pakistan had split and became different sovereigns, women were looked upon as the third-class citizens, and they were not the tapped resource of humanity. And I know it's still pretty quiet in terms of mass consciousness, the role of Brahma Baba. But I can assure you it'll just be a matter of time until it becomes a global mass awakening, because of all the centers that are around the world with so many hundreds of thousands of students that are doing so much good on the planet. But because everyone is so humble and simple and sincere in their service to humanity, people are not focused on the humble, simple stuff. They're focused on the pomp and the splendor. But when that can no longer exist, then you'll see the images of light emerge. So right after this particular age, the Iron Age, will really be the Golden Age. And when you look at a Golden Age, let's start to look at it from a level of consciousness. I want you to imagine your own life void of any trace of algae. Just think of it for a moment. You, the soul, have absolutely no memory, no experience, no feeling of anger, lust, greed, attachment, or ego. Can you feel it for a moment? Is it fascinating for you to remember a time when you had none of those experiences recorded in your subconscious resolves, personality, sanskars? There's absolutely no recording of algae in your subconscious. Can you feel it? There is harmony. There's balance. There's divinity. There's beauty. There's freedom. It's called the Golden Age. And historically, there are stories about the human beings that lived at that particular time. They were called the deities. In Indian culture, deities are revered as gods that devotees in Hinduism pray to these deity image to receive blessings, to get power, to get strength. But what they haven't realized is that what if they were once those deities? Do they need to pray to them, or do they need to become like them? It's two completely different quality of consciousness, isn't it? So in the Golden Age will be the age after this. There's a very, very strong feeling that there are some really beautiful, good people in the world still left. They might not be in mass media. They might not have 10 million followers or 20 million followers. But if you've been impacted by them, your life will certainly become a better version. They're doing service to humanity. Everything about them is of service. They're more focused on how much I can give rather than how much I can take. That's the quality of a deity soul. So in the Golden Age, that period of time will last for quite a number of time, quite a number. In the numbers game, if you're into that, which I'm not necessarily always focused on, but like you have 24 hours to a day, imagine the Golden Age would maybe last for 1,250 years. It's just something to think about. You know, like let's say I come with my own time limit, however long I'm going to play the role of Jenna. I have no idea when my last day will be to take my last breath. So just for an example, things have their limit. Our elections have their limit. Our culture, our time, just places, things, situations have a limit. So imagine the soul has lived fully, rich with its qualities for a long period of time in the Golden Age. And as things just change, things change. For me, I noticed a change in America after 9/11. And then I noticed a change in America after the last election. So there are certain events that will take place that will start to symbolize a change in the consciousness of the people. So from the golden age to the silver age, there's still goodness, there's still beauty, but somehow from 100% virtues and qualities, it's 98%, maybe 95%. Something is getting a little less. Now, because energy exists always and it never dies, it just continues, as we're traveling throughout time, taking birth and rebirth and meeting souls along the way, going into different lands and cultures, we enter into an age where duality begins for the first time, the copper. That reminds me of when I was a teenager and I thought I was the boss. And even though Sister Gita would be like, you don't think if you don't pay the bills here, you better listen to me. And I'd be like, oh yeah, you wait till I grow up. I'll do whatever I want to do. That's like the copper age, where you think you got attitude. And that's where the first time the body consciousness starts. And algae is birthed. A little bit of anger comes in, it replaces your natural peace. Lust comes in, it replaces your innocence and purity. Greed comes in, it replaces your joy, just little by little. And what fascinates me about that particular period of time, everyone, is that about 2,500 years ago, that's when many of the prophets descended on the stage to give a message of love, to give a message of compassion, to give a message of God. That means something was happening to us at a conscious level. There must have been something happening in the world, or else there wouldn't be an awakening happening. There wouldn't be people coming on the scene telling you, let's do this, let's do that. We have to awaken, we have to do better. So in the Copper Age, you get all these avatars, all these saints, all these prophets coming on the scene to tell us now about God. And we're trying our best. And again, just look at life today. How much we have changed after an election, after 9/11, after World War II. Civilizations, consciousness, everything keeps changing. Remember when we used to have to rely on candles for light? And now electricity. The poor candle industry went out of business when electricity came. But now look, candles are back again as a decoration. Not to give you light as such, but to decorate your home. I find those things fascinating. So in a way, as we're traveling throughout time, we bring some of our memories of things that we thought were sacred and beautiful. So imagine if you are an old soul and you're carrying inside of you the recording of once upon a time you were that living deity. How much you want to bring the fragrance and the essence of that in your current life. It won't leave you alone. So imagine in the Copper Age you're traveling and you're moving through time and space and life is unfolding and the natural law of entropy takes place. From being a golden aged soul in order, you end up to be now eventually iron aged. Anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego seem like the normal to you. If you don't yell at your husband, you don't feel like you have a really exciting marriage. I've had some people say that to me, if I don't feel like I'm, invested in this relationship. But what happens, folks, is that after a while, we get tired of being so removed from ourselves, living in an iron-aged existence where there's judgment, criticism, fear, anger, jealousy, betrayal, deception, sorrow, pain, illness. After a while, if you as a soul keep going through those experiences, you get tired. And if even you went to study and go to nature, or you go to a prophet, or you try to do the best that you can with being as positive as you can, nothing can give you the power like having a very intimate, deep connection with Source, with God. So I believe that in all of our lives, at some point in time, we will all hear Baba tapping on the door of our minds and saying, awaken, awaken. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. And at the confluence age is when that awakening takes place. When for whatever reason the soul just can't handle any more of the vices. The soul can't handle any more illusion. The soul can't handle any more Maya. It says, I'm done. So, with that diagram that we've just shown, I just wanted you to kind of look at that for a bit and think about the fact that there was a time you were those golden aged beings, and now after such a long journey throughout time, birth, rebirth, birth, rebirth, birth, rebirth, you're not the same soul you were when you first came onto the stage of life. Something has changed. Something has changed. And as you look at your life right now, you look around all the 4 key pillars of your life: finance, money, health, the physical environment, your mental state, mental stability, and your relationships. These 4 pillars. If they're all in place and they're like 100% perfect, then you are living a golden aged life. If everything is working out perfectly, and congratulations. And actually, if you are living that, I don't even know why you're watching The Next Normal. Because you would be more deemed as a new soul. Older souls have been through more. They've had more experience. They also have a lot more of a tenacity and more inner will and depth and wisdom to cope with their own stories. Everything that you and I are going through, it has nothing to do with anyone, you know. We're basically just trying to sort out ourselves. It might be like you might think, I'm actually competing with myself. Not with anybody. We think it's with other people, it's with ourselves. Because there's a part within us that is of that deity-like quality, filled with virtues, filled with powers, filled with a sense of fragrance, a sacredness, a dignity, a grace, a beauty. It's filled with God's love, God's light. It's sitting in the soul. But because we've been focusing on the waste and the negative and the human and the physical and the limitations, we haven't been able to feed it enough. I think it might be a nice time now for us to go into a meditation on love, because we might be really wanting to recognize that when the soul actually reconnects to Baba, the supreme energy, the supreme light, the ocean of love, the love that starts to flow back into the consciousness heals all the wounds. It would literally heal all the algae that is still in our thinking. And if you can only imagine that for a little bit, imagine for the rest of the night, having not one single waste or negative thought about yourself or about anyone else. You would be in the most loving state ever. You will actually have an experience of what supreme bliss feels like. You will feel like Baba's your companion. It'll be an experience as if heaven has come into your home, because heaven is now in your heart. Why is it important to look at the infinity of time or the cycle of time? It's because the deep impact of algae, Maya, body consciousness, the limited. I'm giving you all the words or that you could resonate with. It's the same. But the deep impact of algae has separated us so much from our true sense of self that we don't even remember who we are. Most of our memories just based on a title, an image, the way I look, who I'm married to, how much money I have, what car I drive, what country I'm from, what language I speak. What's my child's grades? And when you sit in deep silence and you connect to Baba with love, none of that matters. And what will matter for you is, am I pure at heart? Have I let go of all of the experiences of my copper and iron aged lifetimes? Have I accepted that I don't need to take those experiences personally anymore? Am I willing to just break it as of tonight and say, Swaha, I'm done. My past is my past, but I'm now here at the confluence with Baba, my beloved, my mother, my father, my teacher, my best friend, and together we're going to be moving forward into a golden age existence. Until you can wake up in the mornings and go to bed at nights feeling divine, strong, pure, on top of the world, powerful, clear, loveful, without an iota of a waste thought, then there's no need for you to have yoga. You're perfect. You're perfect. Lead the way. Show us the way. You're contributing so much. Keep doing what you're doing. Fantastic. We're so happy for you. But if there's any way that some of the pieces just aren't together, I do have a complaint to lodge. I do feel frustrated. I still have anxiety. There's still fear. Even something as simple as a little cockroach, some of us can be afraid of. Can you imagine a little tiny cockroach? You go, ah, and you're scared. It's not the roach that's making you fearful. It is something it symbolizes, and it's touching that energy in. Again, the memory's still there. And until I can infuse the soul with so much pure love, I can't move away from that past. The past is just what I'm used to. The suffering is just what I'm used to. I watch movies that give me suffering. I watch the news that tells me suffering is normal. I listen to gossip and stories of people that add to my suffering, that add to my lower vibration, because that's just where I am. Like they say in the See Good Network television, where Zoom meditation is being featured now, you are what you watch. Let's have some meditation and take a deep, deep breath. I hope everyone's enjoying today. And think about now when you go into the real course of Raj Yoga, you can see it's a completely different cup of tea, but I'm telling you, it's the great wake-up call. I mean, this is it, right? So let's do a little meditation on love. And I'd like to invite you to be just really open to Baba's love right now and trust that you are ready to let go of your past. And that when Baba comes and enters your consciousness, I mean, everything's going to change for you. Maybe you're not ready, then don't do the meditation. But then if you're ready, let's do it. And let's see what gifts will emerge. Take a deep breath.
I accept myself now. My past aspirations, my hopes, my dreams, my achievements, and my mistakes all merge within the present moment. I relax into who I am. I accept myself as I am. I tune into the silent stillness of my being and connect with the original qualities of my spirit. Gentleness, strength, happiness, with gentleness, I live a life of love. Not control, love. I have the strength to pursue my own journey, to find truth, and to live truth. When I am at one with the love inside me, I experience happiness. In the pure simplicity of my spirit, I find only love. Not the desire to control or direct, but real love. A love that surrounds me in gentleness and acceptance, contentment and humility. I am love. I allow the experience of love, not seeking it externally, but recognizing it as part of my inner nature. I feel the power of this love uplifting me and awakening my innate divinity. I become love. I allow love to radiate through my spirit and reveal itself in my thoughts, my words, my actions. I observe without judgment, and I reveal love. I speak without arrogance, and I teach love. I act without complexity, and I become love. As I become love, I become divine. I am divine, and my life expresses the pure gentleness of my spirit. I feel a deep sense of belonging to the world, and the world belonging to me. Through the power of my own divinity, I cooperate with love's task of revealing truth. And healing the world.
Once upon a time, I, the soul, the being of light, live in my home, the home of all souls. My Father, the highest of all beings, also lives here. In the midst of peace and serenity, at some point a stirring happens within me. The stirring pushes me to come down to a wonderful new world to play my part. The new earth is beautiful and bountiful. I am new, like a fully loaded and supremely charged battery. I am also totally aware of my truth, of my true identity, a being of light energy. Time passes by. Since I am a soul within a physical body, I begin to change. My battery is no longer supremely charged, but I am still fully charged. As a new being on earth, I am still aware of my true form, a being of truth and a powerful soul. My body enjoys the full potential of a self-aware soul. I am full of love, peace, health and happiness. Then a shift begins. I forget myself, my true identity. I create many little false identities, little I's, possessions, talents, wealth, beauty, strength. I begin to identify myself with these I's, that these are components of my whole being. I become body conscious. The biggest evidence of this shift is I begin to experience sorrow. Comparison and competition became a common phenomenon. From being supremely charged to fully charged, I become a half-charged battery. My little I's become my complete identity. The world that I once came upon becomes divided. Different languages emerge. The idea of religion, such as Islam, Buddhism, and Christianity, grows and attempts to lessen the feelings of conflict and sadness. Yet sorrow and pain continue in the world. By this time, I totally forget my original identity. From being soul conscious, I am now totally body conscious. I lose my original qualities of peace, purity, power, wisdom, love, joy, and bliss. Instead, I now have lust, anger, greed, attachment, ego, carelessness and laziness. In fact, sorrow and peacelessness seem to increase. My transformation into a physical being is almost complete. My battery is almost completely drained. My true identity is crowded into a little corner by my little I's. Everything around me becomes corrupt, polluted, and degraded. In the midst of this chaos and immorality, God, our Father, the Supreme Being, comes to us. He reintroduces himself to us and tells us our story. In this way, he ultimately introduces us to ourselves, to our true, original selves. He tells us about the secrets of life, actions, relationships, fortune and misfortune, victory and defeat. He teaches us Raj Yoga. This connects us to him, the Supreme Being, our true power generator. We begin to recognize our true selves. The soul, a being of metaphysical light, very much like our Father, the Supreme Being, divine and complete. I awaken and rekindle my true characteristics, become fully charged once again, and return home. The world that I knew becomes renewed as I rest in the soul world, preparing myself to return to earth, ready to play my part once again.
I'm sure that that has offered you a lot to think about for tonight. And tonight, the homework assignment would be to just spin your own journey of consciousness throughout the cycle of time. What state of mind will you be in when you're in the golden age of time? And as you're traveling from the golden, silver, to copper, to iron, what changes inside of you? Just observe. Just spin it as a homework assignment. And then come right here at the confluence that a huge decision has to be made. And the decision is, do you wake up or do you stay asleep? Do you wake up or do you stay asleep? And to stay asleep is to feed the algae, which has been with us for so long. And to wake up is to move into the energy of the purity and the peace and the truth and the light that we truly are. So I hope you've enjoyed today's session on the cycle of time. I know it can be an ego breaker, but it definitely will be a liberator if it's really opened, if it's really received with that openness that, wow, there's so much about me, I, the soul, that I haven't yet really tapped into. One of the beautiful things about the surrendering to the divine, it's not as such a giving up, but it's a getting back, it's an attaining, it is an opening of the self to such an extent that you can feel how light wants to take over your system. Light wants to be revealed through your personality. Light wants to shine. It wants to express love. It wants to express power. It wants to express purity while you run your company, while you take care of the family, while you conduct a lecture, while you keep the home going. That's what light does. Light makes everything better. Thank you a lot for joining us for our session again on this Raj Yoga, special Raj Yoga meditation course that we're offering to everyone on the next normal. As I mentioned before, if you have seen and participated in all the 5 lessons, then you can join us for a private Zoom session, which will go deeper into expanding the experience of this program and this class. And please, I'm going to just trust that you're honest enough to let us know that you have participated in all the 5 lessons as we come onto the Zoom session. The reason why is that if you miss the session and you don't actually take, each of them have a very important tie-in with each other. And so the real importance of the tie-in and the consistency is for not only your awakening to take place in a healthy way, but also for your awakening to be sustained in the best way possible. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us tonight, everyone. You know that we love and respect and honor you tremendously. So remember your homework assignment, as we have one every night. And last night too, I know that homework assignment was good, where you were checking to see how you're walking and moving around and what was those kind of choices that you were making. So today would be important for you to just really look inside of your heart and soul, and spin the cycle of time. See what your consciousness is like when you were a deity versus now not. And feel the difference. Feel the difference. And tomorrow, when we come together, we'll talk about the virtues, the powers, and wrap everything up. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a lovely day today.
We find our nation on a precipice, true tipping point. Is this the moment that will finally change our country? Trying to rain on the thunder. Tell a storm I'm new. I'ma rain on this little love. Tell the tweet I'm nude.
broken system. It was built to function exactly as it is.
We must respond with bold action.
This is our country too. We can build new systems that do what they should.
Come a walk, come a march on the regular.
We are united. We are standing.
Follow away.
And we are going to fight this fight.
Freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. I break chains up on myself.
There is something happening across this country.
When we work and when we fight and when we march and when we speak up and when we offer solutions, we win.
I'ma keep running cause the winner don't quit on themselves.
It's always the right time to celebrate women and black women in particular.
It is an opportunity to show the nation and the world that we will act. It has been an inspiration.
You have the choice, and it is that choice that gives you power.
Vote. Vote like your life depends on it, because it does.
That is what we need next. Action.
Hi everyone, it's Sister Jenna from America Meditating Radio. I hope you've been enjoying Wise-ish, which you can get live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45. But you can also get it on demand 24/7. It's going to be your power boost for the morning. It's your daily dose for the soul. It's just going to encourage you to make the day that much more valuable. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life.